Day 216, Exile, Isaiah 53 through 54, Ezekiel 14 through 15, Proverbs 12 verses 25 through 28. Let's begin. Isaiah 53:54. Who has believed our report? And to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? And he will rise up like a tender plant in his sight, and like a root from the thirsty ground. There is no beautiful or stately appearance in him. For we looked upon him, and there was no aspect such that we would desire him. He is despised and the least among men, a man of sorrows who knows infirmity. And his countenance was hidden and despised. Because of this, we did not esteem him. Truly, he has taken away our weaknesses, and he himself has carried our sorrows. And we thought of him as if he were a leper, or as if he had been struck by God and humiliated. But he himself was wounded because of our iniquities. He was bruised because of our wickedness. The discipline of our peace was upon him. And by his wounds we are healed. We have all gone astray like sheep, each one has turned aside to his own way. And the Lord has placed all our iniquity upon him. He was offered up, because it was his own will. And he did not open his mouth. He will be led like a sheep to the slaughter. And he will be mute like a lamb before his shearer. For he will not open his mouth. He was lifted up from anguish and judgment. Who will describe his life? For he has been cut off from the land of the living. Because of the wickedness of my people, I have struck him down. And he will be given a place with the impious for his burial, and with the rich for his death, though he has done no iniquity, nor was deceit in his mouth. But it was the will of the Lord to crush him with infirmity. If he lays down his life because of sin, he will see offspring with long lives, and the will of the Lord will be directed by his hand. Because his soul has labored, he will see and be satisfied. By his knowledge my just servant will himself justify many, and he himself will carry their iniquities. Therefore, I will allot to him a great number, and he will divide the spoils of the strong. For he has handed over his life to death, and he was reputed among criminals. And he has taken away the sins of many, and he has prayed for the transgressors. Give praise, you who are barren and unable to conceive. Sing praise and make a joyful noise, you who have not given birth. For many are the children of the desolate, more so than of her who has a husband, says the Lord. Enlarge the place of your tent, and extend the skins of your tabernacles, unsparingly. Lengthen your cords, and strengthen your stakes. For you shall extend to the right and to the left. And your offspring shall inherit the nations, and you shall inhabit the desolate cities. Do not be afraid. For you will not be confounded, and you will not blush. And you will not be put to shame, because you shall forget the confusion of your youth, and you shall no longer remember the disgrace of your widowhood. For the one who made you will rule over you. The Lord of hosts is his name. And your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, will be called the God of all the earth. For the Lord has called you, like a woman forsaken and mourning in spirit, and like a wife rejected in her youth, said your God. For a brief moment I have forsaken you, and with great pities I will gather you. In a moment of indignation I have hidden my face from you, for a little while. But with everlasting mercy I have taken pity on you, said your Redeemer, the Lord. For me, it is just as in the days of Noah, to whom I swore that I would no longer bring in the waters of Noah over the earth. Thus have I sworn not to be angry with you, and not to rebuke you. For the mountains will be moved, and the hills will tremble. But my mercy will not depart from you, and the covenant of my peace will not be shaken, said the Lord, who has compassion on you. O poor little ones, convulsed by the tempest, away from any consolation. Behold, I will set your stones in order, and I will lay your foundation with sapphires. And I will make your ramparts out of jasper, and your gates out of sculpted stones, and all your borders out of desirable stones. All your children will be taught by the Lord, and great will be the peace of your children. And you will be founded in justice. Depart far from oppression, for you will not be afraid. And depart from terror, for it will not approach you. Behold, a settler will arrive, who is not with me, a certain new arrival will be joined to you. Behold, I created the smith who fans the coals of the fire and produces an object by his work, and I have created the slayer who destroys. No object which has been formed to use against you will succeed. And every tongue that resists you in judgment you shall judge. This is the inheritance of the servants of the Lord, and this is their justice with me, says the Lord. Ezekiel 14:15. And men among the elders of Israel came to me, and they sat down before me. And the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, these men have placed their uncleanness in their hearts, and they have stationed the scandal of their iniquities before their face. So why should I respond when they inquire of me? Because of this, speak to them, and you shall say to them, Thus says the Lord God, the man of the house of Israel, who places his uncleanness in his heart, and who stations the scandal of his iniquities before his face, and who approaches a prophet, so as to inquire of me through him, I, the Lord, will respond to him in accord with the multitude of his uncleannesses. So that the house of Israel may be seized within their own heart, by which they have withdrawn from me to all their idols. Because of this, say to the house of Israel, Thus says the Lord God, Be converted, and withdraw from your idols, and turn your faces away from all your abominations. For the man of the house of Israel, and the new arrival among the converts who may be in Israel, if he is alienated from me, and he sets his idols in his heart, and he stations the scandal of his iniquity before his face, and he approaches the prophet, so that he may inquire of me through him, I, the Lord, will respond to him through myself. And I will set my face against that man, and I will make him an example and a proverb. And I will perish him from the midst of my people. And you shall know that I am the Lord. And when a prophet has gone astray and has spoken a word, I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet. And I will extend my hand over him, and I will wipe him away from the midst of my people, Israel. And they shall bear their iniquity. In accord with the iniquity of the one who inquires, so shall the iniquity of the prophet be. So may the house of Israel no longer go astray from me, nor be polluted by all their transgressions. Instead, may they be my people, and may I be their God, says the Lord of hosts. And the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, when a land will have sinned against me, so that it transgresses grievously, I will extend my hand over it, and I will crush the staff of its bread. And I will send a famine upon it, and I will destroy from it both man and beast. And if these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they would deliver their own souls by their justice, says the Lord of hosts. And if I also lead in very harmful beasts upon the land, so that I devastate it, and it becomes impassable, so that no one may cross through it because of the beasts. If these three men were in it, as I live, says the Lord God, they will deliver neither sons nor daughters. But only they themselves will be delivered, for the land shall be desolated. Or if I lead in the sword upon that land, and if I say to the sword, Pass through the land, and so I destroy from it both man and beast. And if these three men were in its midst, as I live, says the Lord God, they will deliver neither sons nor daughters, but only they themselves will be delivered. Then, if I also send the pestilence upon that land, and I pour out my indignation upon it with blood, so that I take away from it both man and beast. And if Noah, and Daniel, and Job were in its midst, as I live, says the Lord God, they will deliver neither son nor daughter, but they will deliver only their own souls by their justice. For thus says the Lord God, even though I will send upon Jerusalem my four most grievous judgments, sword and famine and harmful beasts and pestilence, so that I destroy from it both man and beast. Yet still there shall be left within it some who will be saved, who shall lead away their own sons and daughters. Behold, they will enter to you, and you will see their way and their accomplishments. And you shall be consoled concerning the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, concerning all the things that I have brought to bear upon it. And they shall console you, when you see their ways and their accomplishments. And you shall know that I have not acted to no purpose in all that I have done within it, says the Lord God. And the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, what can be made from the stalk of a vine, compared to all the plants of the woods that are among the trees of the forests? Can any wood be taken from it, so that it may be made into a work, or formed into a peg so as to hang some kind of vessel upon it. Behold, it is used in the fire as fuel. The fire consumes both its ends, and its middle is reduced to ashes. So how can it be useful for any work? Even when it was whole, it was unsuitable for a work. How much more so, when fire has devoured it and burned it up, will nothing of it be useful? Therefore, thus says the Lord God, like the stalk of the vine among the trees of the forests, which I have given to be devoured by fire, so will I deliver the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And I will set my face against them. They will go away from fire, and yet fire will consume them. And you shall know that I am the Lord, when I will have set my face against them. And when I will have made their land impassable and desolate. For they have stood forth as transgressors, says the Lord God. Proverbs 12 verses 25 through 28. Grief in the heart of a man humbles him. And with a good word he shall be made glad. He who ignores a loss for the sake of a friend is just. But the way of the impious will deceive them. The dishonest will not discover gain. But the substance of a man will be like precious gold. In the path of justice there is life. But the devious way leads to death.